Welcome to Business Statistics. My name is Ms. Horn and I'm excited to be your instructor for this semester. I'm going to start by giving you an overview of the course. So right now we are on the home page. The home page has all the important information for the course, such as my contact information. You can see that I have a Google Voice number. You can call or text this. I also have email and Canvas message. So my contact information is always up here at the top. You have your textbook information. You have the video that we're recording right now. It's just telling you how the course works and welcoming you to the class. But what you can see each week that's very helpful is your assignments that are due for that week. So you can always click on the home page to see that. You can also click on the home page to see your important dates for testing for the Proctored test. Go ahead and schedule those now. So if you do that and you send me your time, date, and location, if you message that within the first week, you'll get 5 bonus points for your midterm. If you click on Start, it's going to take you to the modules. And you're going to go in order. You're going to start with the online orientation module. Once you complete that, you're going to go to the important course information module, which has lots of important information that you can refer to all throughout the course if there's something that you need to look at. Of course, you do have your course calendar and syllabus. You definitely want to print your course calendar and keep up with your due dates. Once you get through those two modules, you'll start seeing the chapter modules. And I kind of changed how I do each chapter. So now you will see, let me go to chapter 2. It's a little bit more in depth and looks like most of the chapters. So you'll have a PowerPoint lecture. If you open that lecture, it has my recording of me teaching on that. So just to make sure that you know that there is actual voice on this, when you open this, you're going to click on slideshow and you're going to click on play from beginning. And that way you can
Okay, so now we're going to get started on chapter 2. And here are some of the...
So I'm actually going to go through the topics and lecture on these topics. So this is a great way to learn the material as well as read the text, which this is basically the text. So hopefully this will help. You definitely want to listen to that. Let me go back to the modules for a second. Okay, here we go. All right, so if you go back to the modules, you're going to have the lecture. And then after you have the lecture, you can click on my ebook and see what I highlighted when I read. And then you have learn and practice. So you're going to learn it by coming to class. And in class, I'm going to work the problems and then I'm going to say, okay, you can go for homework. You're going to work section 2.4 for homework. So you're going to come to class, but coming to class and online is actually watching the video. And then you're going to work the homework. So some classes will have multiple videos to watch, so just pay attention to that. But these are divided into sections. And to get to the homework, you just click on it after you've entered your access code. And so you can go in here and you can attempt it as many times as you want. So it'll open, and then you have get more help down here. You want to view an example or help me solve this, look in the textbook. And if you still need help, you can click on Ask My Instructor and tell me what you're having trouble with and click Send, and then I can actually pull up your problem. So that's kind of like raising your hand to ask for more help. Use the help in front of you first, and then if you still need help, after you've watched the lecture videos and the come to class video and viewed an example, help me solve this, the last thing you want to do is ask the instructor. You want to try to use what you have in front of you. And then you have chapter 2, you have like a Kahoot and a study guide. And so the study guide is worth 100 points. And this study guide is going to prepare you for the test. And these tests are non-proctored. If it just says test, that means you take those at home. But you'll also have a proctor test. And so you will schedule those in Smarter Proctoring, and you will click on virtual or at a testing center. I just want to make sure that everybody understands that if you take it virtually, you will have to make sure you look at the virtual proctor testing guidelines and make sure that you're following those guidelines. Because if you don't follow what's in the proctored exam agreements, you may get a 0 on the test or have to retest at a testing center. So make sure that you read the proctor testing guidelines, and there is a proctored exam agreement. And what I would recommend that you do is actually read through this before you take your test. Don't wait until you take your test. Let me see if I can find it. This agreement, make sure you do this before you actually test so that you are prepared and you follow all the rules that you're supposed to follow, because you don't want to have to retake it, and you definitely don't want a 0 on it. So just make sure that you're aware of that, okay? And you will have discussions. That's the other thing I want to talk about. Make sure that you follow the directions in the discussions on what you should do by each due date. Don't forget to do these discussions, and make sure you read the rubric and meet all the requirements on the rubric. That's very important. Okay, and that's pretty much it. I didn't go over bookshelf. Let me do that really quick. So bookshelf, this is where your text is going to be. And I highly suggest that you read through the chapter, or at least have it pulled up while you're working on the homework as a reference, because this e-text will really help you if you actually open it and look at it and you use it as you're working problems. Look at the examples, okay? And it may take a minute to pull up the first time, but you can keep it open as you're working. So when you get to the end of the chapter, there are problems that you can work, but there's also the solutions, the answers to your turn, which are questions that are in the chapter. So if you're reading the chapter, you can work those problems and then check them at the end of the chapter. This will really help you get some additional practice. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me, and I hope that you all have a wonderful semester.